All right. Hey, everyone. Let me be the first to introduce you to the afternoon. Hey, everyone. Russ McCann coming to you live. It is Thursday, October 12th, and we are in the afternoon. It is 12 o'clock noon, and I'm excited that you're here. Hey, thanks for joining me live. I have been on this journey to do a live video, kind of a live broadcast every week. And I started this out, I don't know, about a year ago, where I did a live every day for 30 days. And that was a lot of fun. It was hard, actually, trying to come up with valuable content every day for 30 days, but it was fun. I drugged Denise in, and I talked about Christmas decorations and Thanksgiving. And you know what? We might even do a little bit of that in another couple of weeks. But right now, and then about a couple months ago, I started going live again at least once a week, and I started out calling it "What the heck is going on?" And if you're with me live, I would love to know that you're here. So do me a favor, if you're over on YouTube or on Facebook, drop a comment in the chat just to say hi. Just so you know, I can see your comments, and I might even bring your comment in on screen and interact with you. This is an interactive live that I started. As I was saying, I called it "What the heck is going on?" And you know what? That was way too informal. It wasn't very attractive. People weren't coming. And so I renamed it, called Your Weekly Focus, because I found so many of my clients, so many people that I come in contact with were just kind of losing focus. And they weren't really focused on moving their life forward. So, all right, so we're going to test this out. So look at that, Deb. Glad to be here. Super excited. Deb is a good friend of ours. She and Ron, they live in Wilton, California. And if you want some good, healthy recipes, I'm telling you, Deb is your gal. We call her Chef Deb. And so Debbie is over there with us on Facebook. Thanks for being here. And by the way, we are live in Facebook, and we are also live over on YouTube. So feel free to check out the YouTube channel. I think it's Russ McCann, youtube.com/Russ McCann. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell that'll tell you anytime I go live, and it'll remind you. And then, of course, on Facebook. So it's every Thursday at 12 noon. So I was doing it on Tuesday for a while, and I began to kind of lose focus a little bit. And what happened was Tuesday got so busy. I had so many things going on that ran up against my 12 o'clock hour that I found myself to be late and behind or ill prepared. So what I ended up doing is I began to move it to Thursday. And I found this is a much better slot. So Thursday is a little bit lighter for me. Most of you know that I coach and I help people unlock and discover what's possible for them, really in every aspect of life. And that's kind of what Your Weekly Focus is about. Many of my clients come to me initially because they're struggling with some health issue, and they need to take control over that. So they need to lose a little weight. They need to develop better sleeping habits, need to have a little bit more focus and a little bit more routine. And so that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. And I do most of that on Monday and Tuesday, which left Thursday for me to come and hang out with you. So again, thanks for being here as part of my live this morning. So what I've done over the last, so this is episode number 8. So I've been doing this for 7 weeks now. And we have kind of progressed into really helping you stay focused on what's important in every aspect of life. We've handled relationships. So if any of you have struggled with relationships, that was a couple of weeks ago. And we talked about how to resolve those and how to solve those and how to be a better communicator and how to organize your life around what matters most to you and actually help you become the dominant force. Now, certainly, I'm a spiritual guy. I believe in God. I think God is the ultimate dominant force. But beyond it, there's a lot we can do to control our life. So anyway, so today we're going to actually start a kind of a series, kind of a 2 or 3 week series. We'll see how long it takes me to get through. And we're going to talk a little bit about unleashing your potential. And so, again, thanks for being with me live. If you're with us, before we get into the details, the meat and potatoes, if you will, of my of my conversation today. I want to interact with as many of you as I can. So if you join me live, drop a comment in the chat, just say hi as we're going through some of this information. If you have any questions or you have things that you'd like to add to it, please feel free to type in the chat, either both on YouTube and on Facebook, so I can interact with you live. So I was actually, just so you know, when I scheduled this yesterday to go live today at noon, in the scheduling software that allows me to schedule this, it gave me an option to ask AI, right, artificial intelligence, to give me a better title for my live today. And guess what? The title that artificial intelligence came back with was Unleash Your Potential. And I thought, you know what, this is perfect. So we're going to talk a little bit about unleashing your potential today. And what I really want to start with, so this, like I said, this is going to be about a 2 or 3 week series. And so make sure that you come and join me over the next couple of weeks, because we're going to kind of start with some initial groundbreaking stuff. And then we're going to tie a little bow on it over the next couple of weeks and really help you unleash your potential. And as I'm working with clients, I hear all the time that what we focus on is where we spend energy on. So if you're focused on a particular task or getting something accomplished or communicating more effectively, if you're focused on that, then guess what? You'll put some energy behind it. And next thing you know, you're actually accomplishing goals that you would not have been able to accomplish otherwise. So unleashing your potential, what I want to do is I want us to first stop for a second, and I want us to evaluate some of our strengths and areas of improvement. Okay, so we're going to do a little self-evaluation today. And the reason why I didn't call them weaknesses, because I really don't know that they're weaknesses. I just think they're areas that we need to improve in and put some focus on and energy. And so I might refer to it a little bit as a weakness, but it's really an area where we need to improve. So the very first thing that I want us to kind of focus on individually is to set a little bit of time aside and do self-reflection. Now, this doesn't come easy for a lot of us. Some of us, we have to really work at this. We have to sometimes leave the office, leave the house, go to a park, go somewhere where it's quiet. I've heard some moms, they shut the door and go into their closet. It's the most peaceful place in the house is the closet, right? So wherever your special moment is and special place is, actually take some time, maybe take a journal with you, and we're going to do a little bit of self-reflection today. And it's really important that we do this, because a lot of times we get so caught up in the rat race that we really don't spend a lot of time reflecting on what's important to us and how to become a better version of us. And so we're going to start by, take your journal. So I've got a journal on my desk all the time. It's just a little journal I got from Amazon. And so you can get them. They're only a couple of bucks, or go to the office supply store and pick up a journal. It's nice to have just to kind of keep your thoughts organized and to kind of help you in times like this where we're really working on improving a skill. So what I want you to do in your journal is I want you to make 2 lists. And the first list is a list of your strengths. And the second list is going to be a list of areas where you would like to put some focus on and make some improvement. And so in your strengths, I want you to think about, what are some of the things that I am really good at? So I know for Deb, who's with me live today, cooking and preparing meals and having parties and events, that's right down her wheelhouse, man. You should see her house at Christmas time. Deb, it's outstanding. And I'm sure you've probably already started decorating for the holidays. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about the things that you really excel at, because this is important. We want to capitalize on our strengths. We want to maybe even put some extra energy on the things that we're really good at. It could be things at work that you're really good at. Maybe you're good at organization, or maybe you're good at communication. Maybe you're good at conflict resolution, right? If you're a manager, maybe you're really good at leading organizations and teams. Maybe you're good at the analytical side. Maybe you love numbers and spreadsheets and things like that. And maybe some of the things you're really good at are the creative, coming up with ideas and thinking outside the box. These are all things that could be strengths for you. So in your list of strengths, I want you to really reflect on what are you really good at? Because you know what? You're probably good at a lot more things than you realize. And then in the areas of improvement list, I want you to think about things that you may be lacking on, things that you're maybe not so good at, or maybe you wish you were better at. Right? So maybe some of the things that you're not good at would be time management, right? Or maybe it's your organizational skills. Maybe it's, you know, um, the communication skills with other people. You seem to always kind of be wrapped up in the drama with everybody. And sometimes we blame everybody else for that. But then sometimes when we self reflect, we realize, yeah, maybe we are part of the issue as it relates to communication skills. Maybe we need to work on that, an area that we are lacking. And then the next thing that I want us to do is to kind of look at from a self assessment standpoint, some of your personal qualities, attributes, and traits. So these are things that are maybe more like, you know, um, I'm going to assess my attitude, right? Do I have a good attitude? Am I positive? Am I negative? Am I, as I talked a little bit on the conflict side, do I kind of create some of the drama that's in my life? And really be very clear on some of these personal qualities. Let me look at my list. I made some notes. Um, yeah, definitely areas where maybe we're not so empathetic, right? We go, come on, get with it. I don't know what's the problem, right? Because we're not very empathetic, and we don't realize that everybody has a different set of circumstances that they come from, or situations that they are in, or everybody else has a different um, background, and so all of these things feed into who we are. And as we self-reflect, I want us to think about some of the things that, personal qualities that we have. And then, okay, so now that we've kind of put together this list of things that we're really good at, things that maybe we would like to improve, we've done some self-reflecting to make sure, or to identify some areas where, from a personal character and traits and qualities that we have. And now I want us to kind of go outside of ourselves. And I would love it. I did this a couple of weeks ago. I reached out to about 4 or 5 people, and I said, I'm really doing some work in the area of personal development and personal growth. And I want you to share with me some of the things you feel I'm really good at. And if you knew of an area that I could focus on or maybe work to improve, what would that be? Now, I know this is scary, right? You're opening yourself up to some emotional hurt, right? Because maybe somebody might tell you something that probably you're aware of, but it might hurt your feelings. And guess what? I don't want you to be emotional with this. I want you to be very, very objective and say, okay, I'm going to value the opinion of others, and make sure that you don't ask somebody that you don't value, right? So ask somebody that you really respect them and really value their opinion, and that they will be honest with you, but they will also be kind to you, right? So don't go to somebody who's just mean and say, I want you to be mean to me and tell me all the things that you hate about me. That you're just opening yourself up to a bunch of stuff, because quite frankly, those things don't matter. But when you really open it up to people, I greatly respect my kids, and to ask them, hey, give your dad some feedback. I wish I would have been a better father. I wish there were things I could have done earlier, but I just didn't have the skills to do that. And now that I'm older, I have the skills to be an amazing grandpa, and I'm a really good mentor to my daughters because of some of the things that I've learned along the way. Which leads me to my next point. We're talking about unleashing your potential. If you're just joining us kind of in the middle here, it's okay. You can listen to it in replay. So as soon as we're done here, it's going to be in YouTube and over on Facebook, so you can catch up. So you're not going to miss out on anything. But I'd love to have you put a comment letting me know that you're here. Just say hi. And if there's anything that I'm talking about that you have questions on, or that you feel you have something you'd like to add to the conversation, please drop it in the comments. I am live and I can see it, and I will bring your comments on screen, and we can chat about that. So this is an interactive experience today, right? Isn't that cool? Um, so the kind of the next phase in this evaluation phase is to really review some past experiences. In other words, think about some specific examples, some things that have happened in your life. It could be a work experience or a work situation, something that you did really good at work, and maybe your boss recognized you for it in front of all the employees, and you were really proud of that. Maybe it's something you've accomplished in your life, in your scholastic career. Maybe you have a master's degree and in an area where, man, it really stretched you and you really had to grow, and you're very, very proud of the fact that you completed your master's. Maybe it's something that happened in life, with family and kids and things that you're super proud of, because of these past experiences are something that, especially the ones that we are very, very proud of, we can duplicate future experiences based on some of the things we've learned in our past. And we can also eliminate the mistakes as we get older, because we can learn from our past experiences as well. So again, this is an evaluation where you again break down your strengths and areas that you'd like to improve. You've really taken a good look at yourself. You've asked other people to give you some feedback, and you've looked at some past experience, and now you have a really clear picture of what you'd like to, not so much what you'd like to accomplish, but what is our starting point? Where are we starting from? And so the kind of the next thing that I want to talk about as we kind of wrap up a little bit is taking those things in other words, what are the next steps? Now that we've done this evaluation and we're very clear and we have a good perspective, this might take you all week to do. But then after we do that, what I'd love you to do is to do some, we're going to kind of put things in action a little bit. So the very first thing that I want you to do is to take this amazing list of strengths and areas of improvement, and I want you to prioritize each of the list, ranking in the most important. So if you're really good at something, put that at the top of the list. So rank all of those things you wrote down in terms of your strengths. And then the same thing on weaknesses. And what I want you to do is kind of the thing that would impact your life the most, if you could really improve in this area, put that at the top of the list. And I want you to rank all of the areas of personal development, self-improvement that you want to put some energy behind. And then I want you to just set some overall goals. Many of you come from the corporate world. Many of you have had careers or jobs where you've heard of this term called a SMART goal, right? And where it's specific. In other words, you're very detailed about what your goal is. It's measurable. It's something that you can measure. So I'm starting at this and I want to end at this, and you can measure your progress. So that's a SMART goal that is attainable, realistic and attainable, because you don't want to set a goal that you can't really realistically attain. It would be totally out of the scope. Now, I'm a big believer in setting some really high, lofty goals, but I always set a goal that I know if I work hard and I do it long enough and I stay focused, I actually will be able to achieve that. So something that's really achievable. And then R is not realistic. That's what a lot of people think as it relates to a SMART goal. And R is, oh, see, I just lost it for a second, is relevant. Okay. In other words, you don't want to set a goal on something that has no impact, right? You want to set a goal that has an impact on your life or the lives of other people, and it's relevant to you, your life, your environment, that will improve you and the world you live in, right? And then number T and T in SMART goals is that it is time bound. So I want to accomplish this by Friday. I want to get this accomplished by next week, next month, next year. And so that as you're working towards these goals, you're measuring them, you're working towards them, you're putting some energy behind them, and you are measuring them from a time-bound perspective. Because if you say, "Oh, I hope at some point in my life I will be able to blah blah blah," guess what? You're probably not going to achieve it, because you really didn't set a time. By creating a time of which you want to accomplish that goal, it creates energy or tension or pressure, right? You say, by the end of the week, I want to get this accomplished. I better get started, right? But if you say, oh, I get to it when I get to it, you're probably not going to ever get to it. It may be something that's really critical to your life. So set some great goals and then seek development opportunities. So there are so many great online courses, there's college courses, there's community business forums, there's workshops, there's events that you can go to, both online and in person. Uh, Connect with a coach or a mentor or somebody that can help you hold yourself accountable. It's always good to have an accountability partner. But a mentor is somebody that's a little different than just mere accountability. It's somebody that can help you break through when you get stuck and help you see things that you cannot see because they've been there before. So make sure as you align yourself with courses and workshops and mentors that they are going to help you become a better version of yourself. And then stay positive. You know what? Sometimes when we're going through an exercise like this and we're really trying to focus on unleashing our potential, it gets a little scary. And sometimes we can get down on ourselves and we can be negative and say, I'll never be able to do that. All the doubts and fears start to come in and we go, I don't know why I did this. I was watching that live with Russ and he got me all fired up and pumped up, but you know what? I just don't know if I can do it. You know what? You absolutely can do it. And I know you can. And everybody around you knows you can. But you know what? It's just be positive. Just stay focused. Nobody's perfect. You're going to make mistakes along the way. The success doesn't take a straight line. There's lots of curves and bends and dead ends, and you have to turn around and go a different way. But just stay positive because it's okay. We're going to learn from our mistakes along the way. The obstacle is the way to improvement. And then last but not least, as far as our session today about unleashing your potential, and that is to be patient. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take action. But it's okay because we have a lifetime. And you know what? If my life ended today, my life has been rich. It has been full. I have been blessed. And I am grateful for all of you, all of the people that I know personally, and all the people that have been able to interact with me in my life. I'm just so honored and blessed. You know what? Walking through the pearly gates, I'm going to have a big smile on my face, But with that said, I still feel like I have another 50, 60 years here on earth. And I still have an impact to make. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to go live every week and talk about the weekly focus is because I really want to impact the lives of lots of people. I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want you to really get into action a lot sooner than I did. I was 50 years old before I really found my passion, before I really found what floated my boat, before I really found the relationship of my dreams. I was 50 years old before I discovered that. I wish I would have been able to discover much of this in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. It's available to you no matter what age you are. If you're 80 years old, you know what? We can make our final years the best years ever by really discovering our full potential. So what I want to do now is I want to set up next week. And by the way, if you've hung in there with me and you're still with me, please comment live so that I know you're here. I know Deb Albertson is with me today, and I've got anybody out there on Facebook or YouTube, or you're watching this in replay, and something I've said has encouraged you, inspired you, or caused you to ask a question, make sure that you drop it in the comments or questions because I will answer every question and I will get back to everyone, and I read each and every comment because that's one of my life's purpose. It's one of the things I really like to do is to interact with other people. And I just got to tell you, probably my biggest fan is my lovely wife, Denise, and I'm sure glad she's with me live. And so if you're with me live and you want to join in the conversation as we begin to wrap up, please drop in a comment and we can interact before we close things out. So next week, so we've been talking about this self-reflective, looking at areas where we need to focus on some energy, things we're really good at, things we need to improve. We've talked about setting some goals and really reaching out to other people for some advice and some encouragement. And you know what? Now what I want to do next week So this will be phase 2, I think, in about a 3 or 4 week series. We'll be helping you unleash and unlock your limiting beliefs, right? So what's holding you back? Why have you not been able to accomplish these things in the past? Why are you afraid? Why are you not moving in a direction that's going to change your life and impact it and everybody around you forever? What is limiting your ability to make that happen? You know what? Some of it has to do with what we talked about earlier. Some of our past failures have kept us from seeking our future pleasures because we don't feel good about ourselves. We feel that we can't or that we've failed. And you know what? There's a lot of people that fail their way to success. You know why? Because they never give up. They never quit. There's always something to learn, and there's always somebody that we can reach out to and help. And so that's what we're going to do next week is we're going to talk about these limiting beliefs. And as I mentioned earlier, I love the interaction. I love the comments. I love the fact that we get to do this in this medium. And hopefully something I've shared with you today has made you think. Maybe something I've shared with you today has encouraged you to go and keep going. Maybe there's something that you want to do in life that you've just never, ever put your focus and energy on. And now today, because of our conversation and our interaction, you're inspired to take one small step at taking your life and your health to the next level. And so I would just encourage you to set your calendar for noon on Thursday and come and join me next Thursday each and every week. You can go to the YouTube channel over on YouTube. So that's youtube.com/Russ McCann. And you can see all of the other 7 previous episodes. And you know what? If you're getting ready, you're driving to work, or you have some time and you want to listen to some of the things we've been talking about over the last 7 weeks, I'd love to have that become a part of it. And feel free to drop any comments. And I get notified when I get comments, and I respond to each and every one of those. So with that, happy October 12th. We are sliding into the holidays. I can feel it. I can sense it. And Denise has even encouraged me that, man, right after Halloween, we are going to put up the Christmas tree. And I know Deb Albertson that's with us, I mentioned earlier, she's got an amazing home out in Wilton. It'll be decorated to the hilt, I'm sure. And you know what? Just come and be a part of this journey over the next few weeks. I'd love to have you do that. And until next week, you guys go out and make it a great week. Focus on the things that are going to move your life forward. And we'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.